We apologize for being a few minutes late. We're going to go ahead and call our meeting to order. And we need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented. Do we have that motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The numbers is short tonight, but I'd ask you to remember Mr. Dahlberg in your prayer. Ms. Amos.
Thank you all for being here this evening. Ms. Fox, I want to say thank you for getting everything set and ready for us. It looks great, and we love the red. And so thank you. Appreciate your custodians getting everything cleaned up. The school looks great, so thank you for your help. Also this evening, I'm going to go ahead and ask Kim and Steve if y'all will come up to the podium so we can hear you in a moment. They've got some reports to share with you all on facilities. They've been hard at work on the last couple of weeks with different reports and so forth. So I want them to give you an update of high school and a couple of things that we need to discuss this evening. And some of them do have some money items, and so I've got some action items there. I can say the first one, the barn and the arena, we did not receive the information that we needed, although we've been meeting with that team and the design team. I think the plans are going to be fantastic. And the location, the design of the barn and the arena to go with our advanced ag. And so as soon as we get that information, I'll get it to you, but we're just not ready to take action on that one tonight. However, the CT expansion for the OR building, the 20,000 square feet, I know that Kim received that, I believe, contract today. I believe Mr. Walls said he looked over it and things look good. And so I think we just need to talk about the presentation and finishing out with that. So the expansion itself, it's an extra 6,000 square feet that will be added on to the facility. It's for heavy equipment, electrical, and the carpentry class that we've moved. And so I would ask that the board add funding to this project so we can get it finished out. And Kim, I think the estimated amount was around $200,000. Any other questions for Kim on this?
Just a little background on it. We had intended to approve funding for these three projects: the barn, CT, and the stadium update there, the turf replacement that's torn. But because the barn wasn't completely done, the planning wasn't, we're going to leave that off to probably next month. But we want to go ahead in a good faith statement of faith and go ahead and approve the funding that the OR building will be completed in a timely way. We spoke to Kim about it, and we'd like to, if we can, have a motion to approve and add an additional $200,000 of that funding for that project. Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Kim.
Next, we have the stadium. I know that we have many repairs on all of our campuses that we're working on. Many of these items have either been going to be taken care of with state funding or reimbursed by FEMA at some point in time. So the next thing to talk with you about is the turf replacement. We did have some landslides there in the area. We know that the state is going to take care of the landslide repairs through the, I guess, hurricane relief funding from the state. But this one is about the turf itself. And I want to say that estimate was around 80.
That was for a portion of it. There was two different estimates that were given on the turf. There was one to remove and refill the infield, that was $36,550, and then was to remove and replace the end zone panels, and that was $72,019. That totaled up to $109,460.
100 and what?
$109,460.
And so this is something we filed with FEMA and
We will file this, yeah.
this will be filed with FEMA.
It will, yes. We just need to know if we want to, you had mentioned moving forward with getting that done all season. As we know, FEMA's a process, so we're still working through that process with them. So I don't know if we want to go ahead and put that money forward to fix that, and then once we receive that FEMA money, we can reimburse ourselves.
Do we have enough money in the replacement fund to cover that?
We have close to that, so we could use some other money out of it.
You know, we talked earlier about taking the funding out of the turf
Right.
replacement fund, but my only concern with that was we need to put some kind of wording to the effect that that money will be reimbursed with that FEMA money before that fund is solved. We don't want to take anything away from that we don't put that in danger when it comes time to replace it.
Because we do want, once we get to the point we need to replace the turf, we want to be able to have the funding available.
And that's something we need to look at as we go along for the cost escalation. If we need to look back more each year for that or whatever. I mean, a lot can change between 12 years. Is that an issue if we pull it out of that fund?
It shouldn't be, I mean, as long as, it'll just be a matter of time for when we get the money back from FEMA. And then we would put that money back into that to save.
Is there any way that we can put that, like you said, in writing or something in case?
I mean, another board's gonna come along and that money might not be here. Then we need to make certain that that's taken care of.
That's documented.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have a motion to use a portion of the turf replacement funding to repair the field and get it back in use at this time?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Chief.
Next, we have a ECS proposal at Yancey. There, we did have them to go in and take a look at a crack that was formed in the, media center wall and along the roof line, some leaks. And so we had a concern about that area, and so they did a subsurface investigation. And Steve, can you give us an update on that?
Can you put the button on the mic for me, please? Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, we had ECS to initially come out and look at the cracking in the walls there in the workroom at the media center. It was determined that it was possible to slide on the bank on the outside of the building had come out, which had caused a little sinking in that area. So we got in contact with ECS, took some initial pictures, and they have given us a proposal. They want to do some, according to their proposal, they want to do some exploration to evaluate and generalize the subsurface conditions in the areas of the slope, which means on the outside they're going to do some drilling and see what we're working with underneath on the bank on the outside. Then their second task of work is to do some boring on the inside of the building. We want to go in and take some core samples of what's underneath the building to make sure that they have viable conditions under there to work with. And all we're basically waiting on as far as them doing this work, they told me that they wanted to take a drill inside, if possible, real concrete, so that they can get down to the soil. So they did understand if we weren't able to do that with kids testing, and they would take all their samples from the outside, the facility would not be as effective as far as knowing what was under there. So I guess that's decision is to be made on that, whether we can do all of it or just portions of it.
Does anybody have a recommendation as far as the use of it? Can it be, is it going to be at the middle part of his?
I would have them work with Mr. Byland and his testing plan and seeing what would be the best time to do so, whether they could do it really early one morning or, and so, I guess Dr. Cox could look at that too, to see what would be the best time.
Yeah, I saw the people they bring in, it's, yeah, I mean, it's, and that they work in the regular hours, so. But if it, as long as it wouldn't interrupt, I mean, I want the best possible answer to,
Absolutely.
yeah.
They did say in the report here that, you know, it would be a 4 to 6 week start date from the date of approval. So there is some time there.
Okay,
It could even be possibly put off till summer. I don't know that, but that is possibly something we want to consider.
well, that would probably be the best solution to it, to do it after the kids have left school in May.
Have they given any indication of how they will stabilize that?
They want to see what's underneath it first, which, talking with some of them, most likely will be drilling and pitting, is what they call
Soil stabilization.
Sounds like when talking with Aubrey that it's going to be a good way to fix this. I feel like it is fixable, so that's a good thing. And then a reminder, all of these quotes and things that we're getting, this could be part of our reimbursement piece with FEMA, but we're also very mindful of all the tests and things that we have to have run, inspections and so forth. But I do think this is one we definitely need to look at as we kind of prioritize where repairs are.
Is there any more discussion? Do we have a motion to approve the EYMS substrate investigation of repair items from Hurricane Helene as proposed?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Thank you.
The next section, Dr. Cox has stepped out, but she has worked very hard on many of our safety features throughout the schools. And so I know she's worked on doors and locks and keys and now the phones and intercom systems, those type things. And I think this is APS is a quote that we're looking at, I think.
We did receive a quote from APS. We reached out to a couple of other companies. One company has declined to submit an offer. Another company is sending another person out to look at it, and we hope to have something tomorrow. A portion tomorrow to see how that compares with the other quotes. Since it is above 30,000, we're getting trying to get 3 quotes. Like I said, one declined, and then the other is finishing up some work to be able to give the quote.
Okay. Would the board recommend up to a particular amount if we receive that quote and letting y'all know? It's like we can move forward with the plan.
Currently, we have a limit of $50,000 that Ms. Amos can approve. And we need a motion, if it's agreeable with the board, to extend that up to about $55,000, that she can approve this contract.
Is that enough?
It is.
It is, okay.
It's 54,000, well, added number.
The one that was for
I'll make a motion we approve and extend that to 55 for this project.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll let you know what quote comes in and what it looks like, and we dealt with a couple of these companies that did do a really good job, so thank you all. Next, the FEMA update. I did speak today also with Donnie about the debris removal, and Steve, I've got some information for you, and I'll share that here with you in just a little bit as far as quotes and things that we need. And I know that Kim she and Faith have been working really hard with FEMA, and some weeks are good and some weeks are frustrating, and more documents or more pictures or whatever the case may be, like other groups. And so anything that you want to add on the FEMA update that you can think of.
I do know there has been people out at the sites visiting and working on getting all that documentation and making sure that FEMA has all that recorded before we approve anything and move forward.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a couple of FEMA items. First of all, on the FEMA items, we had site inspectors past 2 weeks. Some looked at Michael, some looked at Clearmont buildings, property. Like Ms. Kim said, we haven't received those reports yet, but we did have those site inspectors. Then we had a couple last week that looked at playground equipment and the cross-country trail at Mountain Heritage. And we went over the items there that were damaged and stood in need of repair. Then I thought this one was probably pretty important. We went to the weekly meeting at the board office with Kim and Faith, and it was the first time that I had gotten to sit down with one of the FEMA mitigation team members, and he was telling me that if we could provide a list of items, school by school, for the projects, he said that if we would provide him with something that was planning for future events, that they would be willing to cover those items. So we've been working for the past couple of weeks on trying to do school by school and trying to get things like places where we need drains, downspouts, things that would keep water from coming into the buildings or washing out places like we had. So he did say if we could get all of that together, that FEMA would provide the money for those projects.
Would that include painting walls in some places that may be sliding from?
Yes, possible. And he just said there were a tremendous amount of things that we could do that would fall under FEMA regulations, and they would provide.
I was just thinking of the amphitheater at the high school. That's kind of, that's one that's, I mean, if you could get that, I mean, if we could probably get that updated, that'd be great. And it's definitely slide prone. And I'm sure there's others and stuff, so.
You got anything else on FEMA? The last one here is about our partnership with Samaritan's Purse. And I received a phone call a couple of weeks ago from Chris Sigmund. And he is asking at that point in time about the property at Ball Creek and the possibility of using that area for the hurricane recovery efforts and putting mobile homes there just for a year so that they could get them out to the community while their homes are being rebuilt. And so again, I talked to Donnie just a little while ago, and he said that we could do like a lease agreement for 1 year, a licensing agreement. Their business insurance would have to look possibly at the gates, the proposal, and so once we get that information, I'm presenting that to you, what that contract looks like, so y'all can read over it, take a look at it. I do think it would be a great thing for that partnership and helping our community as we continue to recover. So, any questions on that?
I'd just like to say that I support anything that we do to help our community throughout this time. And if it works out, then I would definitely support it. So.
I mean, it's an opportunity for us to participate in something that's just dynamic for our community to be rebuilt. I think it's a good thing for Yancey County. It'll be in a safe, secure place right off 19 and be able to see it. I just don't see anything negative about it at all.
So I don't think we really need to take action on that now, since I don't have a contract or anything, but as soon as we do, then I'll ask y'all to move forward with that. But for right now, I know that that's being discussed, and I wanted, all the principals to know that, and everyone here to know that we're working towards some solutions for our students in our community. Okay?
We normally would take a short recess, but it's 6 o'clock, so I guess we'll just move right on if that's all right with you. We appreciate it. We appreciate you being here, appreciate you participating in this. We appreciate Mr. Rogan coming out. Without an effort such as he makes, the community a lot of times don't know what goes on. And that's why we're out in the school. We're asking the community to come out and participate and be a part of this process. We want Yancey County Schools to be in every home in Yancey County, and everybody here to know what's going on and to participate and be a part of it. But we thank you for coming out, your participation. If you would, if you'd stand with me, I'm going to ask you to quick to lead us in Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First up on our agenda is good news from Miss Amos.
I'm going to let Dr. Cox tell us about the Nike shoe contract that you're coming up with, and all the good stuff that you and the principals are working out.
So I was approached by a friend in Mitchell County, and she works with their school system, and they had a donor to reach out to them to provide a pair of Nike shoes for every student and employee in the system. And then they wanted to do the same for Yancey County. And so principals were very gracious to give a quick turnaround and collect shoe sizes for everybody in their building. And then at the district level, we did that for district employees as well. And so I'm just waiting to hear back from her. I did hear that I think 2 of Mitchell County schools got their shoes last week. So that's very exciting. And unfortunately, I don't have any information right now about the donor or the organization, but I'm hoping to get some of that information to share later. So it was just a very, very generous and kind offer. So we've been very blessed.
So my understanding is this is a donor, not Nike, correct?
I'm not really sure. That's the thing. I don't know. One individual I have, I've just got one lady's name that I've emailed, and so I'm still waiting to hear back. So yeah, I don't know how it works, but yeah.
Either way, it's great.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So we're excited about that to see. I remember when I got my first pair of Nike shoes in the 80s, and it was awesome. Playing ball in Nike, so it's exciting. So I know Dr. Cox has put it in for figures going to be pink and shiny and bling and all that stuff. So
I need to make it request.
okay.
Personal request.
So we're excited about that. That's awesome for our students and our faculty and staff. So it should be an exciting day when we get our Nikes in. Also, I want to recognize, she's here this evening, if she is, Miss Lynn Deaton. Extremely proud of her and all that she does for our cafeteria staff. And she had written a grant for the North Carolina Disaster Recovery Act, part of the Hurricane Helene, effort that was through the General Assembly. And she received $149,000, and so we just want to recognize her, all the work that she does during the storm. Afterwards, she was out here cooking at Blue Ridge and all of her staff, and they just really did an outstanding job. And so let's give Miss Vicki a round. So thank you, Lynn, and that will help towards the repairs in our cafeterias and some equipment and things that we need, so that's fantastic. Also, we had some folks, one of my superintendent friends had said to me in December, Kathy, I want to come to Yancey County, and our kids want to help. And they have been through many hurricanes down the coast. If you look at Bertie County on the map, it's right there at the Albemarle Sound. So it's like it's Dare County and then County Inland is Bertie. And Dr. Otis Smallwood is just a fantastic human being and his staff. And so sure enough, about 2 Fridays ago or so, they showed up and we fed them lunch and were able to celebrate with them. And just such wonderful folks and very generous. I got tickled because their car got separated. And so one car came up Marion Mountain and the other car came up Peppers Creek, which was a whole other story. You've been on that old road coming up, and that we were quite tickled at that. And so they requested to go back home through Asheville. They were not going back down the county road, and so you can imagine. But they shared a video with us, and it was just very touching for my office staff, and I wanted you to see it. I know we posted it several different places. But they presented a check to us, and we turned around, and the monies that have been coming to us, we have used them for various things, especially the field trip requests. Students, I didn't want us to have to cancel any of our spring field trips, and principals did fantastic. Kim worked on that. She don't want to hear about field trips anymore, and so that has worked out really, really well. For our students to be able to go. So I just wanted you to see this video. It's not very long, but I thought it was very fitting for tonight and the thank yous that we have across the state.
Some roads you never expect to. Some storms you never expect to weather. But you can know what it means to wake up to loss, to see your home, to see your school, to see your community forever changed.
Our hearts broke. Why? Because we knew better. We knew we couldn't just watch.
And we just knew we had to do something.
That's when our Dollars for Scholars fundraiser was born. 14 county schools came together to raise funds to bring hope to the community.
We had one goal. To raise $12,000 for Yancey County schools.
We posted, we shared, we called our information, and something incredible happened.
Must help communities, and it is our pleasure to help you, and may God bless you. Yancey County, we know that the road to recovery is long. We also know that it takes time. But we want you to know that we are here for you. You are not alone. And also, you are strong.
We want your seniors to have that same moment, to walk across the stage without worry, to celebrate all they will become.
We might be little, but our hearts are big. We know what it's like to be scared
In times of need, y'all need to come together. In Yancey County, we care about you. We love you, Yancey County.
Yancey County, we may be miles apart, but in our hearts we are right there with you. We know the strength it takes to be here.
To show up every day even when things feel uncertain.
And to never lose hope.
And this is why we came together, because family helps family.
And now, Yancey County, you are part of our family.
If that don't touch us, we're blessed, to be honest with you. No way. Next up on our agenda is our consent calendar. Is there any discussion about the consent calendar? Hearing none, saying none. Do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented? Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, superintendent updates. Ms. Atkins.
Good. I want to share a few things with you. I'd like to thank Ms. Allen. I know she's been working on our pre-K autistic training. And so, Ms. Allen, you can share with us on the training that you got.
Good evening, famous members of the board. Over the past few years, we have noticed an increase in our student population of the children that are coming in on the autism spectrum. So in order to help address this need in our classrooms, we applied for and received funding from both the Dogwood Trust and the Community Foundation grants. And with this funding, we've been able to provide resources and supports for our students and families with autism. Currently, all of our pre-K lead teachers and assistants have received training from TEACH, and TEACH stands for Treatment and Education of Autistic and Related Communication Handicapped Children, which is a well-respected model developed by the University of North Carolina. Our district EC and our district pre-K EC directors have both attended week-long trainings in the summer sponsored by TEACH. And currently, 2 of our newer staff members are scheduled to receive 3 hours of virtual training in the summer. This training focuses on evidence-based strategies to support young learners on the autism spectrum, and this includes structured teaching methods, visual supports, and individualized approaches to help promote communication, engagement, and independence. Our educators have gained valuable tools to create an inclusive and supportive, developmentally appropriate learning environment to meet all the unique needs of our students. This funding has provided also on-site consultation from TEACH staff, as well as supported employing a TA to help support our students with autism. This TA rotates among the 3 pre-K sites as needed, and we hope the remaining funds we have will help to secure her position into the fall semester. We are currently working with TEACH to provide a virtual parent information session for our parents of autistic students, and we look forward to continuing to meet their students and families' needs.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. Appreciate her work on that grant, and she and Robert and several of the others and our teachers. It's fantastic training for our students, our teachers, and our families. So thank you, Ms. Allen. Also want to let you know we did receive, I included the report in your packet. Again this year, Yancey County Schools has received the lowest attrition rate in North Carolina at 4.5%. This is a report that was sent out by NCDPI to the General Assembly, and so I know principals work hard every day. We want to hire the best teachers, and then we also want to keep our very best teachers. And so I thank you all for working with them and offering them support and training. Carla does a really good job, and Margie hires a lot lot of EC folks. I had superintendents say, how are y'all keeping your EC teachers and how are you finding them? And they're coming to Yancey County. And so I thank all of you in your efforts that you have every day in keeping our faculty, our staff. It's not easy, bus drivers and cafeteria custodial lately, but y'all have done a fine job in keeping our school staffed. So I'm going to give you that report. Also, summer school, NCDPI sent some information. I know that Heather and Kim and Andrea are working on that, getting things in place for the summer, so we'll give you some more details on that in May. And then also, last week and this week, we have been, another blessing that has come to us. The Southern Regional Education Board, SREB, they have a crisis recovery network in, say, Kentucky, Georgia, other states, and I received the call from one of my state directors, and Jack Hoke said, look, we'd love to be able to deploy some well-trained counselors to be able to come to Yancey County to assist in your crisis recovery. And the more I listened and I talked with my principals, and we decided to go this route. We had a group that came in last week. We had a group that's here this week. A grant that has supported this work effort. And so we are the first deployment in North Carolina. And I'm very proud of that. And so these counselors have come, and they're here to listen to our principals, our teachers, provide support where it is needed. And I thank each of our principals for working with them. I do feel like they've been a blessing to us, helping cover anywhere from lunch duty to classes to small group training. And it's just really, really been a supportive effort. And I wanted you to know that. And the team came in this morning, and I met with them early, and really it's just a good group of folks I feel like have a servant's heart to be here and just jump in whenever needed in our schools. And so, again, I wanted to give that shout out, and I'll be writing some thank you notes and getting some quotes from you all, and wanting Marie to get that information out, because I just think it's a really good thing for our folks as we continue to heal after the storm. So thank you guys.
Next up, under new business, activity bus auction. Mr. Murphy.
Board of the same as Dr. Cox. I was asked to get some options for activity buses, and I put up some papers on your table there. The first one is a miniature bus that does meet all of the BSS and CMVSS requirements. That's for North Carolina schools. You have a 14 passenger and a 26 passenger. Prices on them is $102 for a 14 and $106 for a 26 passenger. As in the regular buses, I put one quote on here for a 72 passenger bus. Right now they're $159,069. So when you look at all the prices for the regular buses, you can go 42, 54 passenger, 72, and of course all that is in elementary. Is from 156 to 159. The miniature buses is 14 to 26 passenger, and that is 102 to 106. These prices they do have some in stock, or they could be ordered now. They're subject to a great price increase if things change here with the tariffs. The difference in the buses, in my opinion, there's 2 miles a gallon difference in fuel. I understand the little buses, but we have more requests for bigger groups of students than we do smaller groups. Unless we could get one of each, I would suggest a bigger bus. The reason being, I'm afraid if we get a 14 or a 26, there's a lot of times that's not big enough to haul the kids involved. We do have 8130 that we finally found the parts that's on back order, and we'll have it going hopefully the next 2 weeks. And that will be, we can run it, I can't remember what model it is, but we can run it bucket Buncombe, Haywood, that way, Mitchell, Avery, Yancey. I just don't want to take them to a raw like that.
How many passengers is it?
It is 24, I believe.
So we can still have one small.
It would be, it's in between 14 and 24, I can't remember the exact passenger on that.
Which one of these would you recommend? I mean, of the bigger bus, what size would you recommend?
Well, right now we have from a 66, 172, and a lot of 54s. I'll ask principal, I'll ask Larry, you don't notice that much difference, 54 and 66, do you? I mean, they're a little bit, you gain a row of seats.
We get a question a lot for small,
I mean, a 54, most times you can get a couple classes in. But with a 54, Dr. Cox showed the math, 54 is 3 to seat elementary. So in high school, that'd be 2 to seat, so that'd be,
How about 72?
We have,
do we have enough of the big buses?
We have 172, the newest bus, and then the others are 66 passengers. What you're used to with the football teams is 66 passenger buses.
Yeah. So if we buy one bus, you would suggest buying a bigger bus and buying, is that correct?
I would say at least a 54 to 66 passenger. And when you look at the prices,
they're not that.
From a 42 passenger to a 77 passenger is just $3,000 difference. That's.
Well, if we're going to have one of the smaller buses, that's going to alleviate a whole other smaller teams that have a way of being transported without taking the big bus. And that was the concern, was putting the miles on the bigger bus. The activity buses you have right now, what, those 66 passenger activities?
No, we have 54s, the 2 yellow buses that we just added on, is 42s. We have 54, 3 66, 172, and I can't remember the exact one.
And we got that one that you're bringing back on one.
Yes. Yes. Okay. 8130. Yeah.
Mr. Williams, if you could go tomorrow and pick up an activity bus, what would you pick up? I mean, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but you don't use the buses more than you do.
You say 52 versus 66, that's one row, I think that's 54 would be 3 rows.
I guess the way the word is, 81, 34, and 32 is the same size. 32 is a handicap. So 34 will usually do your ball games, correct? I understand that.
So the bigger the better for you.
In my mind, I don't really care what we get. I want to get what you need, And I understand exactly a bigger bus, and you can also haul 10 kids on a big bus if you need to.
I think that's the question when we have more of those.
Yeah.
So if we snap it up quick, then we can have 2 more of those information.
Yeah.
So we don't get a recommendation. What's the pleasure of the board? Now, I don't care if it's say what I think, I'd like for us to say what your opinion is.
I think no more money.
Yeah, I think I think we need to get the biggest bus we can get. I think we've got one that's a 72. We got some 66, and yeah, bus drivers are hard to track down for day trips, things like that, so.
Yeah, I mean, for $3,000, you might as well get a 72. That's something that everybody thinks we can get around everywhere we can get the 66.
You said mileage is about the same?
The mileage is 2 miles per gallon difference on one of the little buses, like 8130. The next.
Virtually the same for 66 or 54 or 72.
Oh yeah, fuel mileage is the same.
I think it would be very nice to have a big bus to be able to, when we had a huge group to go out and be able to accommodate that without taking private cars and everything else where the kids could be together. And I do see the need for a smaller bus, and it will be used, I can see that. But if we're going to spend the money to buy a bus, I'd like to see us buy one that gets the most bang for the buck. That's just my opinion.
I think in the future, when we have all the activity buses we need, it would be nice to have a little bus, for it. And that, most of the time, am I right, big golf and tennis is the smallest groups.
But the bus that you're saying will be back online, it'll feel that need for the time being while we're trying to find another one, right?
Yes.
Do we have a motion to purchase a 72 passenger bus?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, David. Department updates, Ms. Bennett.
This is nothing.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Dr. Cox. In your packet tonight, you received a board report detailing expenditures and revenues for July through March of this year. Do you have any questions regarding that report?
Seeing none and hearing none, do we have a motion to approve budget amendment number 4?
I'll make a motion we approve number 4.
Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye. Do we have a motion to approve budget amendment number 5?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Do we have a motion to approve budget amendment number 6?
So moved.
Do we
I'll
have,
second.
we got a whole lot. All those in favor?
Aye.
Do we have a motion to approve budget amendment number 7?
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Do we have a motion to approve budget amendment number 8?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next up is our Transportation Department report. Mr. Murphy.
I don't really have any updates. I will say we're running all roads right now except a little bit on the far end going to Mitchell County down the River Road. And DOT has told me they are going to start working on roads right now. So we may have some that when they go to the bridges and stuff, we won't be able to run at the time. And also, talked to them last week. We had a meeting and they're saying all temporary bridges, they're going around and putting the weight, certifying the weight and stuff on them. So when they get that done, we'll go back around and survey the temporary bridges.
Thanks, sir. Next up, our Maintenance Department report. Mr. Allison.
Gentlemen on the board, same as Dr. Cox, I'd like to start off by looking first of all at South Taylor Elementary School. Our NC Department of Environmental Quality Service Line inventory for South Dakota Elementary was submitted this month. We're required by DEQ to supply them with the information that we have a service line in that school because it is on a pump system. So we did finally get that finalized and submitted for South Dakota Elementary. At Cane River Middle School, we did some cleanup work this past month with some down trees that were down in the football area and got those disposed of. At East Yancey, we got some scoreboards come from the gymnasium, and as well, WNC Roofing is to begin the roof replacement project on Monday, April the 21st. At Mountain Heritage High School, we fixed the baseball netting. We had to do that, and that was quite a task to get that net back up and secured. Met with Jeff Traxler with Geo Services about researching tennis courts at Mountain Heritage, and he is working up some quotes for that project. Then we did receive quotes for the amphitheater slide and for the slide beside the steps, and that should begin next week in spring break. And then we're looking at some work to be done in the field house area. We had some drilling done down there last week to see what we're working with under the ground there so that we can stabilize the bank. Then, as well, the field house itself was damaged. We're working with a contractor to look at the proposal to have those things fixed in the field house. As well, we talked earlier about the damage that was done to the field itself, and we're looking at trying to divert the water that caused the damage to begin with, which will potentially have to put in a pipe or a drainage system to take that water away from that field. So we're looking into that as well. Aldridge Electric has been installing outside lights at the core building, which has made a huge difference. It will make a greater difference when the time changes. But some night you should drive by there and look at the lights on that. And this is one I know that everybody's been asking a question about when we're going to start mowing. And Dale Austin from Mountaintop Landscape is beginning work on mowing and landscaping at all the schools this week. Anyone have any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up on the agenda, there's a grant writing report. We each have a copy of that. But I don't ever want this opportunity to thank everyone that works to make those grant writing processes a success. We appreciate your efforts, appreciate our grant writing, appreciate everything everybody does. Next up is public input. Do we have anybody signed up?
We do. We have Stephanie Johnson.
Miss Stephanie Johnson.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
My name is Stephanie Johnson, the Golden College Foundation, and I just wanted to stop by and thank the school board, Mr. Williams, and Mr. Dodds for believing in your construction technology program and allowing the Golden College Foundation to sponsor the program to build homes for our neighbors. Y'all know that has been tremendous. We could have never expected the state and national news coverage that got, and it's been such a blessing to my organization, and I think for the boys. They have had the best time giving interviews and going on Good Morning America. So I just wanted to tell y'all how wonderful that has been. and how thankful I am that we have been able to participate with the school and really share what's happened here in Yancey County and how they're going to continue to rebuild. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for doing that because it's been very amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't think we have the words to describe what's happening in Yancey County. Next on our agenda is advanced construction class at Mountain Heritage High School on Good Morning America for building tiny homes for our community. Mr. Dots wasn't able to be with us tonight, but we've got Miss Cynthia Deaton. If you're not excited about what's going on in Yancey County, you need to check up. There's something wrong. It is unbelievable what's happening here in our little small community. We made the national news. Come on, folks. This is exciting. Miss Dean, what do you think about the pictures we're seeing? I see you looking intently at them.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
We'll see if they can join us when we're at the high school in May. And something like that. We recognize lots of students and athletes and our CTE students too. So we'll see if we can, I know they're busy this time of the year, but we'll see if they can join us there. So,
I'll be honest with you, I don't want to sit here. I want to get up. It's all I can do is sit still. It's an exciting time to see what's happening. To see the people that are stepping up and partnering and doing what they're supposed to do. When the hurricane came, how many of you know what took place one of the first things where it was at? Now there's a lot of people sitting here that works in the central office, but the general public doesn't know what goes on in the central office. And I can say that because I've been right there. I feel like all of us have that's not in the system. But you walk in the central office and the first person you're going to see is Becky Shooty. She may let you in the door, she may not. She don't know you, she may not get in. She is security. But directly to your left when you go in is where Miss Marie England sits. And she fills all the phone calls and she catches all the flack. She sends out all the requests and different things that people have for her. And she puts up with us as a board. You've got Miss Lynn Deacon, you don't see her a whole lot. And I go to the board office quite often. Lynn's in her office or else she's in school. That's just where she's at. She's doing something. She gets very little credit. She makes certain our kids are fed. She makes certain that we don't know the state getting funding, that we're running a program that we can be proud of. And when the auditors come, that's the boringest meeting I have in the year. To listen to that auditor's report page after page. But it's a blessing to be able to hear at the end that you're working with a solid system. You've got employees that care about how it works. You go on down the hall the other direction there and you're going to run into Miss Carl. You know that she's your personnel director. What does that entail? Well, it entails going through background checks. It entails making recommendations. It entails dealing with all the employees. Putting up with us at the same time, making sure that we get a request or a recommendation that employer, we can't hire that employer. They pass those background checks. You go on down the hall, and you run into what I'm going to call the vast finance department in Yancey County. Nobody knows what that is. I promise you don't know what it's like to have a finance officer call you and say, would you care to come in and look at something? And you're closed. When Robbie was there, the first time she called me, I was closed. But she was gracious enough to explain. And for us as board members, I mean, me and Cody, we've not got a background through education. Ronnie does. But for us, that's huge. There's so many different pots and the way the funding can be moved from one to another where it can't be moved. That's not the simplest thing to understand. But they work diligently day in, day out. And Kim's heard me come to her with some crazy requests. I know she has. And I know you're like the same thing. You've heard the same thing. As a board member, we're here to serve. We're here to serve the public. We're here to serve you as employees, as administrators. But we're not here to get into the weeds as far as employees go. That's your job. That's her job to make a recommendation to us, and for us to trust the one we chose to guide the ship. You step on across the hall and you run into Miss Cox. If she happens to be there, she's not somewhere out in school trying to put out a fire. Come on down the hall just a little ways and you're going to run into Mr. Branch. Check that out. If you've not already not had a conversation with him, go ahead and have one. Take your request to him and make your plea about your need for your school. He'll listen. But the next office is Miss Stevens, one of the most important departments of public education. She takes care of issues that nobody knows nothing about. She takes care and keeps Yancey County schools out of lawsuits and liabilities that we don't want to be done. And I say all that to say this. You've got a group of people in the central office that for the most part are behind the scenes. They're not out here getting kids on the buses and off the buses. They're not driving to the ball games. But without them, it's just not going to happen. This would be total chaos in the school system. Miss Andrea Allen, I never hear her say nothing until she comes here. But she is part of what keeps the curriculum together between her and Miss Cox. They protect Yancey County. They protect their students. They put that hedge of protection out there to make certain that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. This isn't an individual effort. That's why you have principals meetings, so you can come together and see what's going on at each school, I believe. And to try to find new and innovative things to bring into the school system where kids can learn and grow and flourish and go out and make a huge impact. And for what you do, we're ever appreciative. I mean, we thank you for what you do. The last time it came up about the attrition, it was just sort of sloughed off. Nobody said much about it. The lowest attrition in the state? Not once but twice. What does that tell you about teacher satisfaction? I mean, that's huge to me. Good Morning America. When's the last time they came to Yancey County? These projects tonight that we funded, we want the public, we want you to know that because that's your desire and your need in your school, that's our job, is to find funding to fund those projects. But if you don't come to us, if you don't show us your needs, we probably aren't going to know. We appreciate what you do. It's not an issue. If I was in Verde County, I'd be so proud of those people. I just run away. I'm telling you, it's hard to sit and to hear all the good things that's going on. We're going to be able to partner and have a place for Samaritan's Purse to park homes for people that have lost their home. This is Yancey County, folks. This is amazing. Verde County set the bar for us. I mean, they set it way up there. Those are times when it comes that we're going to be called to go out. To go out and share the passion that they've shared with us. To do what they've shown us. If I could describe Yancey County in just a couple of words, I'd say Yancey County is a passionate and caring county. And through a different venue than I'm a part of, I get to hear a lot of times people say, well, nobody loves me. Nobody cares about me. They're throwing me away. Well, I think we've experienced compassion. We ought to be able to share it and show compassion. And I would ask you that when you go back to your schools, your homes, that you reach out to those neighbors that are still hurting. We're not past this hurting. It's still in front of us, but we're working our way towards it. And we appreciate Miss Stephanie for what she does. It is a fact to try to make these things happen. Steve, Miss Amos, and Kim, and the others that meet with FEMA, that's a weekly, ongoing struggle to try to make that process happen. And we appreciate it. Next on our informational items, pre-K kindergarten registration will be Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. We'll be at the town center from 12:30 to 3, and from 3:30 to 6, it'll be at the elementary schools. Thursday, April 17th, will be a high student day. Friday, April 18th, will be an optional teacher work day. April 21st to 25th will be spring break, schools closed. Tuesday, April 29th, we will have a special joint meeting with the county commissioners at East Yancey Middle School at 6 p.m. Friday, May the 2nd will be senior signing day. YCS Tech Building, Friday, May the 2nd, we will have a springboard retreat. Monday, May the 20th, Mountain Heritage High School Auditorium at 5:30 p.m. will be our work session. 6 p.m. will be our regular meeting. Fundraising 24-25, and that's in your packet. I say all this to say this. Thank you. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for being faithful to what you say. And we appreciate your support. We appreciate you reaching out and sharing with us where we can help you. Give us that opportunity. We need a motion to adjourn if nobody has nothing else.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. We stand adjourned. Thank you for coming out.